Hello, hello, my subscribers. Welcome to Jamaican chapter. It is Monday, October 6th, 2025, and I am coming to you from Southfield, St. Elizabeth. And today I will be touring the St. Mark's Anglican Church here in this community. So I'm standing here close to the church, and that's the library. It says Southfield Branch Library. So right down into this road, I am going to be going over to the church and do the usual thing I do on a church tour. I was just standing here getting ready, and I see this nice little cat. Seems like the mother is not around it. Very nice little kitty. I would have bring it. I would bring it home if I wasn't that far from home. But then sadly, its brother or sister got crushed on the road. So that's a sad thing for those little cats. They just come into the world, and they were either somebody bring them here or they just wander away. Anyway, so down that long road, you have a school down there. I don't know what's the name of the school. I don't know. So I'm gonna go across the road. I'm not sure if this is the road to the church. I'm not sure if this is the road to the church. It doesn't look that way, but this is the road I'm using to go over to the church. So this is the church I'm heading to. The church I'm heading to. Guys, you'll notice that my recording is a lot steadier now. This is because I'm using the SH cam. I'm not using my phone. I got this. I also got a drone, but I'm telling you the truth. The first time I flew the drone, it lost, and I found it back. I'm not good at controlling it. The video quality is not that good either. So I'll see what happened. So we're here now at St. Mark's Church here in Southfield, St. Elizabeth. There's a school up there. I don't know the name of that school. I don't know. Heading over to the church now. Nice breezy Monday. That's the gate down there. So this is the road and that's the gate. The gate is locked. I walk there and that there's no wire. Wire was broken there, so I just walked through it. Let's go up to the church and let's find out how this church look from different angles. St. Mark's Anglican. It's a tall church. It's a tall church. You might see it on screen and it doesn't look that tall. It's really tall. Again, another church built out of stones. Look at the arch windows. You know, this church has cameras. I was trying to get in contact with those for the church. Didn't get it. They seal me on their camera. This is the other side of the church. Clergy only. Enter by main. Lovely windows. Very pretty windows. There's a modern building here beside the church. And here we have another bell tower. The bell tower is like a signature for these old churches. It's a bell tower that's still in use, obviously. The back of the church is lovely. The back of the church is absolutely lovely. Then I have the school over there. And the back of the church has a big lawn here. There you have the school. What's the name of that school? I don't know. Alright, so we have the cemetery down there. Alright guys, so I brought my drone here. I brought my drone and sadly guys I was using it and the drone flew away before and I found it. So when I came here and I was using it, it went up in the sky and then it flew, you see right over there? Right over there. It went over there. And that was the end of it. I went over there, I did not find my drone. So it was a big loss for me there. I probably when I'm buying a drone again, I'll have to buy one that is that works off GPS. Because this one I lost it. I lost that drone. But happily I'm recording now with my SJ cam. I will have better footage, no shaking image again. Alright, so let's begin and find out who are buried here And I start here with this grave. It says, in loving memory of James Roy Bacchus, December 28, 1928 to March 6, 2010. This is the resting place of James Roy Bacchus. And that's 2010. So we're gonna go in line right behind James. Here we have the resting place of born January 2, 1940, died December 12, 2011. Here at the resting place of it says, in loving memory of a beloved father, Mackenzie Alvarang, born November 4, 1921, died January 25, 1997. It's missed by sons, daughters, relatives, and friends. The grave of Mackenzie Alvarang. Here we are at the resting place of a gentleman here. Let's say on his grave it's the Alvaranga, greatest father and husband, Delani Siaga. Okay. Delani Siaga, 1963 to 1997. So the grave of Delani Siaga. I'm not sure if that big word is his last name, Alvaranga. And here is his photograph. Looks similar, look familiar. He looks like Lionel Richie. The grave of Delani Siaga. And here in the same row, this is the resting place of Susan Adelaide Smith. Susan Adelaide Smith died 17th May 1947, age 81. So she died all the way back in 1947. Susan Adelaide Smith. Beside her, her grave is attached to this person, um, which means this individual died way early than her. I can't. It's something like Mary. It's a Mary Smith. They have the birth. Died in 1943. No, 1933. Okay, it's Mary, and that's Susan over there. Their graves are attached. And we have these are some older graves. They have nothing on them. This one actually has a nameplate. It has a nameplate. The person painting it painted also. It says, in loving memory of Edward James Smith, died the 17th July 1939, age 71. So it's the resting place of Edward James Smith. There's a little baby grave here. Nothing on it to know who was that little baby. These are older graves also from the earlier times. Some of them had writings, but it's hard to make out. This person died in 1934. Okay, I think. All right, so let me go down here. Oh, this looks like somewhere that you put urns, but obviously nothing is in them yet. They are numbered, but no urns have been added to it yet. Let me look at the other side. Okay, so this is brand new for those who cremate and want to have the ashes in urn, you know. So it's brand new. Um, no ashes yet inside of it. What do you call this? There's a name for it. I remember, but I can't remember right now. All right, so here we are at the resting place of, to say, in loving memory of our dear mother, Ada M. Montague, died the 17th February 1956, age 86. And beside Ada Montague, we have Matthew S. Montague, died the 13th of January 1951, age 80. So I think they're husband and wife. Matthew the husband and Ada the wife. So Matthew died in 1951 and Ada, she died in 1956. Not too long after Matthew. Here we are at the resting place of Etta V. Montague, died the 26th December 1962, age 61. This is the resting place of Oscar J. Montague, died the 1st of April 1950, age 69. So Oscar Montague, I believe, is the husband of Etta Montague. Etta died in 1962 and Oscar died in 1950. So Etta lived 12 years after her husband. There's another Montague here. Says this is the grave of Ivan Montague, died the 30th March 1949, age 70. And down here we have a small grave. I'm not sure if this is a child or it's just that it looks small. It looks big down at the bottom, but here it says Edgar A. Montague, died April 19, 1956. So that's Edgar A. Montague, died April 19, 1956. This grave was all grilled around. The grill has rot, you know. So let me see whose grave it is. This is the resting place of Rosa Stevenson, who departed this life the 20th August 1935. Rosa Stevenson, the grave of Rosa Stevenson, died August 28, 1935. And they grilled around her grave. This is a long time grill, it's not rotting away. This is the resting place of Mrs. Iselin Stevenson, probably related to Rosa Stevenson over there. So Mrs. Iselin Stevenson, who died August 11, 1977, age 67. I'm assuming this is her husband. In loving, in loving memory of a dear father, Sergeant Major Cecil Stevenson, who died June 12, 1977, age 77, sadly missed by children and loved ones. So they died, the both of them died the same year. Cecil Stevenson, he died on June 12, 1977, and what I believe is his wife, Iselin Stevenson, she died August 11, the same year, 1977, and their graves are built with bricks, brick graves. Wow. I think this is the first time I've seen graves built of bricks. Here's another Stevenson, Sybil Al- Alder Stevenson, who being born on the 5th day of August 1937, departed this life on the 4th day of March 1979. Buried here, buried here is the remain. Let me say it this way. This is the resting place of Dr. Derek R. Stevenson, born March 14, 1940, and died September 10, 2015. This is a brand new mausoleum or whatever it is. As I say, to put ash. There's a lot of rooms here. Oh, some person, hold on. Persons have been buried, not buried, urns of individuals have been placed in here. So it's been used now. This says, to the glory of God, the St. Mark's Mayfield Columbarium was consecrated by the Most Reverend the Dr. Honorable Howard K. Gregory, O.J., Archbishop of the West Indies on October 29, 2023. Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. Everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. So this was opened in 2023. I don't know. Or it started that, I don't know. So here we have an ornament, Gwendolyn G. Elliott, the 31 of the 10, 1928 to the 1 of the 2, 1995. And here we have another one, Honorable Derek A. Rochester, OJCDJP. Um, he died on the 9 of the 4, 2016. So the urns have been added here. So those individuals, maybe their urns were at home and then they place them here. Who knows? Nice, nice, nice. What do you call it? Columbarium, if I'm pronouncing it right. It's getting rainy now, so I'll have to go through these graves fast enough. I have an umbrella, but the umbrella is designed for um, protecting from the rain. No, protecting from the sun. The small umbrella. Cherish memories of what is this now? Reverend Father Dickas Emmanuel Wint, JP, born October 20, 1932, died June 19, 2015. Rest in place of Emmanuel Wint. He was a father. He was a reverend father. Reverend Astley Charles Lindo, OD. That's Reverend Astley Charles Lindo, OD. He died August 19, 2022. So there are two reverend here, reverend and another reverend up there. Let me see if this person was a reverend. Yes, this person was a reverend. Say Reverend Rinaldo Oswald Braham. He was called Daddy and Rector. He died on May 31, 2024. So another reverend in line with the other reverend. All right. Says, with much love we remember David. What's the name? Let me see. I don't know what the last Zoroko. David Zoroki Bent. He was called Rusky. We will see him again and we will rejoice. So he was born April 15, 1947, died March 18, 2021. David Bent. David Bent. And there's a picture of him here. The picture of David Bent. And there's even a barcode. So that's the grave of David Bent. This is the resting place of Clarence M. Crawford, born January 17, 1940, died December 21, 2021. Clarence Crawford. Church looks lovely up there. A very tall front. When was this church founded? I don't know. Andy Williams, born 1902, died 1988. Andy Williams. The resting place of Andy Williams. This is a tall grave. This is the resting place of Mervyn Montague. Died 18 of the 12, 1995. So he's here. Mervyn Montague is here from 1995. I was still in school. This is the resting place of Veronica Montague. Born December 10, 1936. Died April 21, 2023. Veronica Montague. I noticed the Montagues, there are a lot of Montagues out here. A lot of Montagues. Here's another Montague again. Lindbergh Leo Montague died July 16, 1993. These are Ernment, and they are Montagues too. Volney Montague, 1926 to 2013. Volney Montague. Spurgeon Montague, 1929 to 2018. I think they're saying he was born in Jamaica, died in Canada. Spurgeon Montague. Are these two graves? These look like two graves. There are two graves here. Over on this side, we have Rupert Montague. He was born 1924, died 1980. Then over on this side, you have Anthony Montague, born 1941, died 1988. So there are two graves here, Rupert on the left and Anthony on the right. Okay, look at these two old graves. They are now leaning over. This one literally leans over. This one still has some writing on it. These are some older graves. There are some older graves without any writing on them. This one, the concrete looks new. This one is a little baby one. Little baby sleeping. This is another one. This one has a nameplate, but it's broken up. Um, it's Susan Wellington, who departed, and they don't say anything else. You have the march, you have the age, but everything. Susan Wellington, the grave of Susan Wellington. This, somebody seemed to be patching it back together. Still can't make out who that was. Right. Here we are at the tomb of this man. Says, in loving memory of Linnell D. Cordova Bent. He was called Gypsy. Sunrise November 11, 1944. Sunset January 10, 2021. The resting place of Linnell D. Cordova Bent. This is the resting place of this lady. Her face looks familiar. Oh no, I think I've seen this woman before. Gloria Eleanor Bent. She was born April 14, 1946, and died December 28, 2019. So maybe this is the wife and this is the husband. I think so. This is the resting place of Casilda Simpson, January 28, 1938 to April 9, 2010. That's Casilda Simpson. And this must be her husband, Robert Simpson. He died May 11, 1993. So he died in 1993 and his wife lived until 2010. Husband and wife, without doubt, that is the case. We are here at the tomb of this lady here, Ellen Olive Bent, July 3, 1917 to April 18, 1995. The resting place of Ellen Olive Bent, the Bent family. And this is the resting place of Mervy Notice. That's Mervy Notice. She was born Mervy Ebanks, December 10, 1926 to November 6, 2012. Yes. This is a tomb of Daphne May Channer. And she died on December 17, 2011. Daphne Chardney. I'm gonna go out here. Let me read from here. It says this is the resting place of, I'm not sure what that is. Is the last name is Alvaranga. I'll figure it out later. But it's like it said, Fredel Alvaranga died November 28, 2004. Esmin Alvaranga died December 30, 1996. Esmin Alvaranga. The first time I heard the name Alvaranga was when I was doing the Mayfield Cemetery. This is Alma Rochester Smith. She was born August 30, 1916, died May 23, 1996. This is the resting place of Victor Elliott. Did I read this already? I don't know. Victor Elliott died January 28, 1996. Wow. Here's another Bent again. Novelet Bent died March 5, 1992. Novelet Bent. This grave is new and it says Mom. It says the grave of a female. Mom. Yes. Here we're looking at two graves, and I believe these are husband and wives. Husband and wife. Let me start over at the husband. This is the resting place of Linton Claude Gale, January 13, 1909 to November 17, 1994. And his photograph is right there. That's his photograph there. Linton Claude Gale. And beside Linton, I love the head. I like the headstone. I hope it's not too fragile as time goes by. But this is the resting place of Marjorie Gale. She was born December 8, 1922, and she died October 13, 2013. That's her photograph there. Marjorie Gale. Beside her husband, Linton Gale. Linton died all the way back in 1994, and she would live until 2013. Typically, the wife lived out the husband, typically, in most cases. Esme Hyacinth Gale. This is another Gale again. Born 1923, and she died February 24, 1990. This is the resting place of Ivy A. L. Wright. She was born on June 16, 1901, and she died on January 21, 1994. Ivy Wright. Stanley Caswell Wright. So this might be Ivy's husband. He died June 22, 1989. Stanley Caswell White. I believe that this is the husband, that's the wife. So he died in 1989, June 22, and she died in January 21, 1994. So she lived like 5 years. Let's call it 5 years after the death of her husband. William Whittingham Martin. So that's William Whittingham Martin. Born the 30th of the 9th, 1916. Died the 12th of the 11th, 2011. He was 95 years old. That's what they have on it. This is the tomb of Donald Demetrius Burke, and he died on November 1, 2011. This is the resting place of Ethelyn Gale, died January 26, 1988. Ethelyn Gale. And this is the resting place of Olive Wright Nee Gale. So she was Olive Gale, then she married into the not Ray, right, it's Ray. So I'll have to read it again. It says, in never fading memory of Olive Ray Nee Gale. She died on January 24, 1991. Olive Ray. Ray. W-R-A-Y. Ray. Olive Ray. They still have a lot of burial space over here. A lot of burial space. This is the resting place of Mr. Vernon Cameron. Cameron. JP. So Mr. Vernon Cameron, JP, he died the 15th of the 1, 2022. And there's a photo of him there. There's an image of him there. Mr. Vernon Cameron. He was a justice of the peace. Nice styling here of his resting place. This is the resting place of Christopher Cameron. He was called Pops. Born June 23, 1909, died December 17, 1987. So could he have been the father of Vernon? Vernon was born in 1946. And if you look at Christopher, he was born January 23, 1909. So he could easily have been the father of Vernon. He died on December 17, 1987. Christopher Cameron, who was called Pops. Oh, here's a grave right up in the corner here. There's nothing on it to read. Clifford DeCosta, born 1895, died 1984, age 89. That's Clifford DeCosta. And here we have, beside Clifford, we have the grave of Belva DeCosta. That's Belva DeCosta, 1905 to 1986. They put Shalom on it. This is the resting place of Hamil. Let me see. No, Hamlin DaCosta. Did I keep saying DaCosta? But there's Hamlin DaCosta. In loving memory of dear father Hamlin DaCosta, born the 2 of the 10, 1902, died the 13 of the 5, 1988. DaCosta. Never heard that name before. Never heard that. I think I've heard DaCosta, but I think I heard like the DaCosta Cup in cricket. Daniel Arthur Miller, he was called Danny. Born September 3, 1938, died October 13, 2010. This is the resting place of Daniel Arthur Miller. This is the resting place of Elliston Timothy Willington, 1909 to 1978. The sky is cloudy. I think it's gonna fall. The rain is gonna fall. So I'm trying my best to get through all of these. I got through all of those up there. So I'm gonna now go through all of these in front of me, so we can know the names of those buried here. This is the resting place of Raphael D. Cordova Powell, and he was called Pow Pow. He was born August 25, 1940, and he died on April 29, 2015. There's sort of a little picture of him here. Pow Pow died April 29, 2015. Not too long ago. Not too long ago. This is the resting place of a Robinson. Don't see if I can make that out. I'm just gonna keep moving. Anne-Marie Nation. Anne-Marie Nation. Born February 3, 1963. Died June 3, 2010. Anne-Marie Nation. This is the resting place of Theophilus Mullins. Died December 2014. That's Theophilus Mullins. This is the resting place of Carlton Lloyd Nation. Born October 9, 1957. Died June 28, 2010. The resting place of Carlton Lloyd Nation, and I believe this might have been his wife. Yes, Anne-Marie Nation, which I read before. She died on June 3, 2010, and he died on June 28, 2010. So she died like about 25 days before her husband. Oh, look at that little thing there. It's breaking up now. This is the grave of Gaynell Avis Robinson. She was born Binns. So she was born Gaynell Binns, and she married into the Robinson family. She died on the 9th October 1981. So that's Gaynell Avis Robinson. Here we are going to the resting place of Mrs. Mary McIntosh. Mrs. Mary McIntosh, she died on the 28th April 1977. So she died way back in 1977. This is a broad grave. It belongs to Anita Ebanks, January 27, 1944 to February 14, 2024. This is this is the tomb of Mervyn M. Ebanks, born November 14, 1921, and died February 28, 2005. Mervyn Ebanks. That's Mervyn with a Y. Mervyn Ebanks. This grave looks similar to his. Not no. Clarence Powell, April 11, 1939 to May 17, 2012. Very nice headstone there. Right. The- In loving memory of MC Ken Barton. Barton. This is Ken Barton. He died on the 16th of the 8th, 2023. Nice, lovely headstone there for Ken Barton. This grave has nothing on it. This angel has been praying from the 1970s. He's praying over the resting place of William L. Tinglin. Tinglin, born January 24, 1912, the same year that the Titanic sank. So he was a little baby when the Titanic sank. And he died on January 16, 1971. So he was in his 60s when he died. Look at this grave. Nice, lovely grave here. This is the resting place of Miguel McFarlane, April 30, 1943 to March 24, 2014. Joyce Anderson Nee Hilton. So she was born Joyce Hilton and she married into the Anderson family. She was born on June 18, 1934, died September 25, 2018. The resting place of Joyce Anderson. In memory of a dear mother, I'm not sure what that is. Maybe Francis Johnson, April 28, 1984. Could be wrong. I'll check it out to find out. I've never seen a grave that say mother-in-law. They say, in loving memory of my dear mother and mother-in-law, Julia Sipo, Sipora Johnson. Okay, Julia Johnson. So she died on the 8th of the 8th, 1977, age 92. She was born in 1885. A dear mother and mother-in-law. That's really nice. Margaret Brown, born June 3, born June 3, 1882, died June 19, 1982. So she was 100. Yeah, she was 100 years old, and maybe 16 days. 100 years old for Margaret R. Brown. Died June 19, 1982. I wasn't born yet. Irville Stevenson. That's Irville, Irville. Irville H. Stevenson. Born April 25, 1957. Died May 9, 2001. Eric Stevenson. He was called Moxie. Born April 17, 1938. And he died September 24, 2010. It's probably related back to Irville. Maybe they were brothers. They couldn't be father and son. Or maybe they could be. Because Irville Stevenson was born in 1957. And this man Eric was born in 1938. So when Irville born, Eric was already 19 years old. So yeah, they could be father and son. He could have had um Irville could have no, I'm saying it wrong. Eric could have had Irville when he was 19 years old. As well as they could be brothers, but I'm just saying it's possible that they could be father and son. This is the resting place of Ton Joseph Russell. Russell. Okay, that's the last name, Russell. Born June 18, 1966. Died October 18, 1989. This is the resting place of Francis Owen Stevenson. He died December 29, 2001. Francis Stevenson. Dorrit Hint, born August 11, 1932, died October 17, 1991. There are some graves here with writing, but the writings are so rubbed out. So rubbed out. Can I read them though? Mrs. Hazel Cates. That's Mrs. Hazel Cates. Born July 19, Can't make that out. Died on 10th of August 1967. That's, so this is the grave of Hazel Cates. This is the resting place of Samuel A. Sterling. Sterling. There's also a Sterling here too. Grace Sterling died the 12th July 1976 at age 102, 104. So Grace Sterling lived until she was 104. Congratulations. Dulcie Whitfield died the 31st August 1972, age 49. Died at age 49 in 1972. Dulcie Whitfield. Mrs. Iris Alberga. Oh, that's the last name. Mrs. Iris Alberga died the 3rd of December 1973. You can imagine the amount of people were here as they were burying the body of Iris Alberga way back in 1973, which means that some of them who were at that funeral are probably not around. This is the resting place of Charles Robert Bent, and he was called Uncle Charlie. Born August 1904, died March 1998. 1904 to 1998 for Charles Robert Bent. I think this is his wife. Doris May Bent, born February 14, 1911, died June 28, 1995. So she died first, the wife died first. Doris May Bent died in 1995, then her husband, Charles Robert Bent, followed in the year 1998. Right, so Jane Wellington died November 24, 1967. That's Jane S. Wellington. Gwendolyn E. Bartley, who died the 11th November 1971. Gwendolyn Bartley. Here's a grave of a young guy. This is his photograph. Okay. Says, in loving memory of our dear son, father, brother, and cousin, Aunt One Ramon Powell. So Aunt One Ramon Powell, June 5, 1996 to December 7, 2021. He was young. He was in his 20s, about what, 25 years old when he died. And he's buried here at St. Mark's Anglican Church, Southfield, St. Elizabeth. Agnes Valerie Green. That's Agnes Valerie Green. Born April 7, 1896. Died September 9, 1975. Agnes Valerie Green. In loving memory of Laurel Morris, born 1917, died November 1972. And like it's the age something, I don't know what that is. So this grave is from 1972. So they have painted up some of the graves, not all of them, but they painted up some of them. What's this? This was here for a long time. You can see it's a little baby grave here. This one is also an old grave. There's some writing on it, but I doubt I'll be able to know the names. And that one over there also have some writing on it, but I'm not gonna figure out those names. This was a nice design. Yeah, the concept, you can see the concept that they had in mind at that time. This is the resting place of John Anderson. Nothing else. I just see 97. I don't know what that means. John Anderson, and beside Anderson, I think this is his wife, Myrtle Anderson, 1959. Okay, so I think I know what this is. She died in 1959. He died in what appears to be 1978. This is the resting place of Charlotte Colburn, 1900, no, the 3 of the 10, 1900, to the 30 of the 8, 1984. Charlotte Colburn. And here we have Morrell F. Colburn, who departed this life January 24, 1964, age 76. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. The thing about cemetery is that all the neighbors are so quiet with each other. There's no argument, no provocation, nothing at all. Nothing at all. Did I read this already? I don't know. Ransford Powell, he was called Novel, died November 20, 2015. So that's Ransford Powell. Oh, look at this grave. Maybe this individual was buried not too long ago. No. The cement look a little fresh. This is the tomb of Nora Emily Evans, who died on October 20, 1944, age 64 years. Nora Emily Evans. Nice design of this old grave. This has some writing on it. It says Margaret MacLean. That's Margaret MacLean, who fell asleep February 13, 1911. Look at the design. I'm sure everybody who went to that funeral have long died now. This is the grave of Rupert Joseph Winter, born the 9th of July 1884, died the 15th of June 1954. Rupert Joseph Winter. Winter with a Y. Did I read that already? I don't remember. Okay, this look fresh. The wreath on it, you can see the wreath on it. This is the resting place of Mervylin Millington Peter. That's Mervylin Willington Peter. Born February 3, 1926. Died February 15, 2011. Hello. We call these police bugs. Yeah, maybe because of the colors that they have. Uh, in here, under this tree, we have the resting place of Roxy Elliott. That's Roxy Elliott, born April 1, 1924, died February 28, 1987. Roxy Elliott. This is the this is the tomb of Wilfred Bromfield. He was called Danny. So Wilfred Bromfield, he was born on March 31, 1951, and he died September 18, 2015. A beloved husband and father and friend. He was called Danny, Wilfred Bromfield. So everybody called him Danny. Beside Danny, we have here the resting place of Martha Adelaide James. They call her May. She died on July 9, 2018. This is the resting place of Dorcas Elizabeth McIntosh. Dorcas Elizabeth McIntosh, born March 15, 1889, died September 25, 1976. Susan Mary Wright, born October 12, 1914, died August 31, 1995. Susan Mary Wright. At this grave here, the individual was buried here. I love this grave. This design really is really nice. This says parchment. Seem like there are two individuals buried here. Carlton Anglican parchment. He died August 10, 2016. And then you have Marilyn Joanita parchment, and she died August 19, 2020. So must be two caskets in here of Carlton and Marilyn, as it's one grave and two names. Lovely, lovely headstone there. This is the resting place of Edith Malcolm. She was born on March 19, 1925, died April 28, 2019. That's Vanita Edith Malcolm. Maybe this was her husband. Legon Ashley Malcolm, loving husband and grandfather. Born April 4, 1928, died March 23, 2007. Legon Ashley Malcolm. It could be husband and wife here. Here at the resting place of Alice Eliza Blair, who died on the 25th June 1928, age 70. 70-year-old in 1928. And this must be her husband, David Campbell Blair, died the 29th May 1893, age 39 years. All right, the rain is absolutely due in now, but I'm determined to read out all the graves here today. School is over. Over there, school is over. Students are getting into their parents' car and things like that. But I'm not gonna come all the way back out here, so that means I'll have to let my umbrella keep me from getting wet. This person lived until he was 83 years old. But let me go back up here. Let me go back up here and then I go down in line. This is the tomb of Bradley George Blake. Sunrise August 1955 to sunset October 2010. This is the resting place of Dudley Mitchell, born December 29, 1928, died April 14, 2016. Dudley Mitchell. Who was this individual? Makes you wonder. Was this a friendly, nice individual? Was this somebody who was not nice? There's nothing on the grave to read. Irene Elizabeth Blair, who died on the 7th of April 1921, age 40. Died in 1921 at age 40. Irene Elizabeth Blair. Alice Lillian Blair, who died on the 8th. I'm not sure what that is, but it's 1964. Okay, Alice Lillian Blair. Alice Blair. Here's another Blair again. Campbell Horatio Blair. Died the 13th December 1973, age 89. Ina Rosella, says Ina Rosella Blair. Another Blair died the 23rd of October 1974. I'm going a little faster. At least I can see if I can cover these graves before, the rain tear down. Patricia, what that? Powell. Patricia Powell. She died December 29, 2014. Reynolds Earl Powell, devoted husband. He died the 27th of the 7th, 1999. That's Reynolds Earl Powell. Linda Merle Powell Campbell. Is Linda Merle Powell Campbell. Died December 19, 2010. She was born on October 15, 1923. Esmond Powell, June 1903 to December 1987. Esmond Powell. These are husband and wife, no doubt. There's no writings on their graves, but I tell you, these are husband and wife. They probably were buried in the early part of the 1900s. These look like husband and wife also. But maybe not. Maybe not. I don't think so. This say Ellen Williams. Died the 31st of March 1961, age 58. That's Ellen Williams. She was described as a dear mother. Beside Ellen, we have Irene Johnson, 1880 to 1965. Irene Johnson. Here we are at the resting place of. Okay, I thought I could move that. Oh, here's another thing with her name. Andre Green. She's Andre Green. Born June 23, 1954. Died February 4, 2022. And on the bigger part here, she's described as a dear mother, grandmother, sister, auntie, and friend. An older grave here, Emily Smith, died the 24th October 1968, age 78. That's Emily Smith. 1968 that she died at age 78, which means she was born in what? About 1890? Is this readable? I'm not sure. Like you say, Hilda Brown, 1977. Could be. It looked like it's some da. I'll try to figure it out later. This grave was tiled up, but no name was added. Alright, I see the rain coming from afar all the way over there. This is the grave of Jane Hewitt. That's Jane Hewitt. Died on the 2nd of July. I don't even know what year that is. Look at this grave. These graves are all grilled around, but over time the grills got old and rusted and they start to fall apart. And they did. So we're gonna go inside and see. Adelaide Roberta Foster, born August 12, 1892, died December 14, 1958. Adelaide, that's Adelaide, 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 Adelaide Roberta Foster, died on December 14, 1958. And I'm going to assume this is her husband, David Augustus Foster. Died February 16, 1965, age 77. So the wife died first, way back in 1958, and the husband lived until 1965. So he lived like about 7 years after the death of his wife. This grave is kind of broken up. It's a woman. It's a woman. The grave of a woman, but it was up there. It broke off, and they laid it right here and tried to piece it back together. But it's obviously a Humpty Dumpty. Can't be put back together again. Gwendolyn Smith died on the 13th of the 10th, 1994. Gwendolyn Smith. Beside Gwendolyn, I think this is her husband, Wesley Smith, and he was called Bishop. Died, I'm going to say December 6, 1971, age 68. Wesley Smith. This person died not too long ago. Sonia Neal. That's Sonia Neal, 1952 to 2015. Sonia Neal. Nice grave there. They don't add any headstone yet. Godfrey Valentine Smith. Godfrey Valentine Smith. Sunrise December 29, 1941 to sunset August 21, 2019. Godfrey Valentine Smith. Can I read these graves out before the rain? Wow, this is a nice wreath. So it has what you call uh I love it. It's nice. Nicely put together. It's the grave of George Seymour Wedderburn. That's George Seymour Wedderburn. Born December 23, 1940. Died August 6, 2021. Oh, the children. So many children. You know, when you look at all these graves, you remember each of these individuals were once children. I'm not talking the children who died, I'm talking the adults. They were once children, the future. Mabel Louise Reed. That's Mabel Louise Reed. April 29, 1895 to February 29, 1984. This one says Margaret A. Reed, who died the 9th July 1952, age 99 years. And here we are at the tomb of Henry Theodore Reed, who died the 24th April 1921, age 68 years. So these three Reeds, they are family. They are family. You have Henry Theodore Reed, Margaret Reed, and Mabel Louise Reed. They're family. They were buried close to each other. Buried close to each other. Each of these individuals buried over here, they have a story. They have a story. This is the this is the resting place of, seem to have two names on it. Maybe there are two bodies buried here. On the top it says, in loving memory of Gerald Newell, February 8, 1925 to May 2023. And then you have Sola Newell, January 1, 1932 to January 17, 2021. So Sola died first, and then Gerald later in 2023. We are here at the resting place of Wesley Facey. So we are here at the resting place of Wesley Facey, There's a picture of him there. It says, in loving memory of a dear husband, father, grandfather, brother, relative, and friend, Wesley Facey. And that's him over there, looking very honorable. He was born December 28, 1937, died he, he died May 17, 2019. Wesley Facey. There are two names on this one. Carla. Oh, there's a salmon. Finally, I see a salmon. So on the top there you see salmon. Salmon. Then you have, says Carla, salmon, July 6, 1981 to October 14, 2014. Then you have Carl, and Carl died October 14, 2014. Hold on, the both of them died on the same day, October 14, 2014. So Carl Salmon died on, and hold on, but Carl was a baby because Carl was born October 14, 2014, and he died October 14, 2014. And Carla, probably the mother, she was born in 1981. So Carl was a baby. I wonder what happened. I'll try to see if I can find anything. So it might be Carla and her baby. So the baby is buried in her arms, inside of this grave. Earl W. Parchment, who was called home on March 7, 1968. Earl Parchment. Lovely grave, sturdy grave. Oh, there's a grave here. Ah, it's all covered up. Beloved mother. It's a parchment. Dilivanti. Beloved mother and grandmother. 1918 to 1995. Dilivanti. And this is Leslie Dilivanti. 1917 to 1978. Husband and wife. I believe they are husband and wife. Husband and wife. All right. I don't know what the name of this is. Uh, I'm not sure. I can't figure out the last name at all. Parchment. Okay, so it's parchment. So it's like it's a, I don't know what that is. Hermin Ernestine Willington. He died on June 4, 2019. Hermin Erneston Willingston. Hermin Ernestine Willingston. Willington. Willington. Alfred Gale. He died on January 19, 1995. Alfred Gale. Goylin. What's that name? I probably figure it out later. It says Gale. The surname is Gale. Died October 5, 1995. So he died the same year as Alfred over there. Alfred died on January 19, 1995. And this lady, she died October 5, 1995. Could be husband and wife. Could be. This is Alfred Gale. Died on the 16th July 1955. Could be the father of Alfred Gale up there. This grave was all grilled around, and the grill, even though it's old, is still a little sturdy. This is the resting place of R.D. Binns. Died the 17th January 1945. Age 69 years. That's R.D. Binns. Died the 7th, I just say January 7, 1945. I don't know if the rain is coming or not. Don't know. I don't know. I wonder how late it is now. So I'm coming to you from the St. Mark's Anglican Church here in Mayfield. And this is Southfield. And today is Monday, October 6, 2025. See these two graves from all the way down there. Beautifully done with the pictures. So let me see who's buried here. Say, in loving memory of Earl L. Powell, and he was called Popsy. Died January 31, 1953. Born January 31, 1953. Died December 20, 2014. That's Earl L. Powell. He was called Popsy. This is Christopher B. Powell. He was called Yank. That's his picture there. Born December 23, 1960. Died March 3, 2019. They are Powell, so they are related. Could be brothers. I can feel the rain breeze now. This is the resting place of Lovely grave, no writings. All right, I see a very handsome gentleman here. Handsome gentleman. Look at this picture. You know that picture I taken way back in the 1990s though. In loving memory of Winston Ricketts, born uh, Winston Ricketts, born the 25th August 1932, died September 8, 1998. So he's born in 1932, died in 1998. Very handsome man. The breeze is getting really stronger. The place is all cloudy. And I'm all the way out here. This says Mayfield. Is Mayfield part of Southfield? I don't know. But that's how I see it in the church address. They say Mayfield and then say Southfield. Harrington Bancroft Crawford. June 1, 1915 to May 22, 1998. Resting place of Harrington Bancroft Crawford. Could this be his wife? I think so, you know. Muriel Monica Crawford, knee hunter. So she was a hunter before she married into the Crawford family. Yeah, man, this is her. This is his wife. She died December 28, 1997. She was born on September 1, 1914, and she died in 1997. So she died a year before Harrington, her husband. James, James. I don't know what this. Am I calling up James or something? The way I'm saying it, like I'm calling up James. James, you know. Maybe it's James Howard. I'm not sure. I'll try to figure it out, but it's James something. 1921 to 1996. Oh, it's McDonald. Okay, it's James McDonald. 1921 to 1996. And this must be his wife. This must be his wife, Martha McDonald. 1919 to 1993. And they say beloved wife, mother, teacher, and friend. So Martha is the wife and James the husband. Oh, I miss my Joan. I just bought the Joan on Amazon and the thing just fly right up in the sky and disappear. I went in search of it and I spent about 2 hours in all bushes and thing. Didn't find it. Probably landed on somebody's house. R.W. O'Neill Speed. R.W. O'Neill Speed, who died July 28, 1971, age 83. Somebody is buried beside Mr. Speed. It says, in loving memory of Aeon Leroy Ebanks. So that's Aeon Leroy Ebanks. He was born in 1945. He died on January 26, 2023. And there's an urnement right beside him here. Somebody tried to write something in it. August 26, 2023. I can see on it. I can't make out anything else. These graves, let me see if they are family. I think so, you know. Because when all the graves are attached together, it usually means their family. Say, in loving memory of a beloved mother, Anne R. Bromfield, who died September 1963 in her 87th year. Anne R. Bromfield, Duncan N. Bromfield, died November 1964 in his 87th year. He was 87-year-old when he died in 1964. Duncan Bromfield. Enid Sangster. I wonder if this person's related to Donald Sangster. Enid Sangster. Nee Bromfield. So she was born Enid Bromfield. Then she married into the Sangster family. She was born look like February something, maybe February 3, 1920. Died October 12, 1994. Enid Sangster. Reynold Siddons. 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 Reynold Siddons. A loving and devoted husband. Died October 22, 1983. Um, I can't figure out that name. I don't know what that is. I'll have to test it out, find out later, and then say it. But the middle name is Alfonso Powell. He died on April 14, 2013. What's this? Dita. Oh my God. Dita Powell. January 19, 2017. She was born Bromfield before she married into the Powell family. Somebody's gonna be buried here. Somebody's gonna be buried here. They put um like mom. They couldn't have buried anybody yet because the thing is not sealed up properly yet. So I don't know what's going on there. That's not that's not sealed up properly. So I'm sure I don't believe they buried anybody inside of that yet. But the wreath are on it. but that's not properly covered. All right. Rudolph Anthony Griffiths. Rudolph Anthony Griffiths. Sunset October 21, 2018. Rudolph. Ruben Maxum. That's Ruben Maxum. He died January 3, 2016. Ruben Maxum. Percival James Anderson. He was called Pete. Percival James Anderson died May 25, 2004. He was born October 1, 1948. Died May 25, 2004. Percival James Anderson. Mernell Anderson died November 7, 2022. Jane Blossom Gale died November 13, 2021. Jean, that's Jean Gale, Jean Gale. The breeze is very strong. This is a new recording device. I don't know how it's gonna sound. I can't make out this name. I know it's Wills. So it's Lamore Wills, who was called Betty. Died November 4, 2003. Virus May Anderson. Hello, Miss Virus. Virus May Anderson. Died May 3, 2005. Percival James Anderson. Sound very similar to a name over there. Percival James Anderson died August 6, 2000. Probably the husband of Virus May Anderson. I don't know. Vivian Anderson died the 7th of the 8th. Vivian died the 7th of the 8th, 2007. Charles Anderson died the 4th of the 2, 2000. Charles Anderson. He was born in 2010. Vincent Charles Myers. Oh, that sounds familiar, sir. Vincent Charles Myers. Devoted husband, father, grandfather. Born July 15, 1940. Died August 17, 1999. Vincent Charles Myers. I love that name. Iris L. Bent. June 13, 2008. So Iris L. Bent died June 13, 2008. Cecil G. Bent died November 25, 2004. So this is the husband, I believe. Cecil is the husband, and Iris is the wife. All right. Vernet Gwendolyn Edwards, July 28, 2000. Christopher O'Gale. Christopher O'Gale died October 18, 2016. Christopher O'Gale. Let me see how he was born on August 27, 1977. He died October 18, 2016. He was still a young man when he died. You can see all the lot of the children are already gone, still some down there, you know. All these individuals were alive at one point or the other. Branford Gothbert Gale died December 18, 2019. That's Branford. Let me try to not get my picture in it. It says Branford Cuthbert Gale died December 18, 2019. Alright, I don't know what this name is. Earl Andrew Anderson. So, in cherished memory of a loving father, brother, uncle, and friend, Earl Andrew Anderson, born March 5, 1951, died June 16, 2018. I love this name and I don't even say it. Conrad Desmond Ritchie. Conrad Desmond Ritchie, born March 23, 1944, December and died December 2, 2022. And it goes on to say, missed by daughters, granddaughters, other relatives and friends. Conrad Desmond Ritchie. This is the resting place of Mitchell Barbara Ritchie. That's Mitchell Barbara Ritchie. She died on July 14, 2013. So that's Mitchell Barbara Ritchie. Probably she was the wife of Conrad Desmond Ritchie. I believe so. Some really nice houses are out here. The breeze is lovely out here also. Absolutely lovely. Look at this grave. When they were sealing it up, that they pushed the wreath into the concrete and they form these patterns. So the wreath, absolutely, the wreath perished and gone, but they left some, marks into the concrete right there. This individual is buried beside Cyril Duncan. That's Cyril Duncan, born January 11, 1924, died August 18, 2014. Ellen Duncan, April 12, 1920 to August 16, 2009, being the wife, Ellen Duncan. Died December 21, 2018. Albert, no, that's Andrew Albert Jackson. Died December 21, 2018. Ewart, Ewart, Ewart Carl Loban. Loban, yes. That's Ewart Carl Loban. Died the 12th of the 7th, 2014. Yeah. Birdie Dixon. This is the tomb of Birdie Dixon. She died the 12th of the 3, 2023. Birdie Dixon. Who is over here? I love the tiling. Love the tiling. Maybe this is Birdie's husband. Clifford Dixon died March 6, 2003. Clifford Dixon. Daisy Bunton. Daisy Bunton died October 11, 2002. Daisy Bunton. Hedley Arthur Bent, born 1890, that's January 3, 1890, and then died on February 29, 1976. So he lived until he was our 86-year-old. The only Clacken I've seen, Constance Clacken, born July 3, 1915, died January 5, 1995. Constance Clacken. Obrel Thomas. That's Obrel Thomas. He was called Vicus. Born October 20, 1926. Died May 27, 2007. And we are getting closer to the final grave to be read this evening. flowers, oh, the flowers inside of it, they are pushed down in something. So she died on January 5, 2008. She was born in 1935. And that Mitchell, it fits your name, Clarence Mitchell. So this is the final grave. It's the grave of Reuben Barton. November 20, 1935. Died February 12, 2000 and 2008. 2008. Reuben Barton. And with that, we come to the end of documenting the graveyard of St. Mark's Anglican Church. I'm not going to show my face in this video because I spent so many time in old bushes looking for my drone. I couldn't find it and I look ruggish. So this has been the documentation of the graveyard of St. Mark's Anglican Church here in Mayfield, Southfield, St. Elizabeth.
Jesus is on.
Thanks for watching. It has been a wonderful journey and also a disappointing journey. For this video, I want to hear your comments. Give me your likes, and if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscription button for more interesting videos to come. I am Nigel D. Salmon, and I say goodbye until next time.
Everlasting life, just tell him what you want. Oh, if you want to have peace in your home, just tell him what you want. Why won't you call him up and tell him what you want? Call him up and tell him what you want. Why won't you call him up? Just call him up and tell him what you want. Why won't you call him up? Call him up and tell him what you want. Why won't you call him up and tell him what you want?